The most exciting part of a vacation stay at a home rental? Easy. It's being greeted upon arrival with a rusted lockbox affixed to the underside of a stranger's condo. Yeah, you simply twist knobs, click gears, jiggle it, and then rip it off its moorings, and voila! Your prize is a key to a questionable home rental and maybe tetanus. When you just want to get your vacation started by actually getting into your room, it matters where you stay. At Hilton, we deliver your key right to your phone on the Hilton Honors app. Hilton, for the stay.
Welcome back to another episode on Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson, and I'm an anxiety coach who helps people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally. On today's episode, what I am going to be talking about is how to stop focusing on the wrong things in order for us to overcome our anxiety and to start focusing on the right things so that we can be anxiety free, so that we can start healing our anxiety once and for all. This is very important because a lot of us, we can be stuck with anxiety for many years and don't understand why we are still struggling with anxiety, where it seems like we are doing so many things in order to fight the anxiety, but we're not getting to the right place. We're not getting to the place where we want to be. And that can be very frustrating and very demotivating because we are putting so much energy in the wrong thing instead of the right thing. And what happens is that we are using so much energy, so much motivation, and we're not getting where we want to be. So today, I want to make you guys aware of what you should focus on in order to achieve that goal of being anxiety-free. Now, a lot of us, what we tend to do is that we focus on our symptoms. So whenever we're focusing on our symptoms, what are we doing? We're automatically thinking that there is something wrong with us medically, that there's something wrong with our heart, that there's something wrong with our mind, that there's something wrong with our body. And we start trying to treat those symptoms instead of the actual cause. And the actual cause of our anxiety is from our sympathetic nervous system. And our sympathetic nervous system is what's responsible for our fight and fight mode, is responsible to handle stress, worry, and pressure. And what happened with us is that for so many years, without even realizing sometimes, that we have been putting stress, worry, and pressure that on our sympathetic nervous system, and that is what brought us for many, many years. That has brought us to the moment where all of a sudden we start having anxiety nonstop because our sympathetic nervous system can no longer handle it. So what we need to do is start to heal the sympathetic nervous system. So if we're able to heal the sympathetic nervous system, right, then our anxiety is going to disappear. We're not going to feel like this anymore. We're not going to feel anxious. We're not going to have any more symptoms. We're able to control our anxiety because our sympathetic nervous system came back to its original state and we were able to heal it. But the question is, okay, so how do I start healing my sympathetic nervous system? Which is a good question, right? How do I do that? Well, we have to understand why is it, besides what I told you right now about our sympathetic nervous system being on overdrive, right? It's burnt out. Besides the reasons from handling the stress, worry, and pressure for so many years, we also need to reprogram the amygdala. Because the amygdala is what sends out a signal to the sympathetic nervous system to activate the fight and fight mode. And that also causes too much, pressure on the sympathetic nervous system. And right now we need to take a two-front approach to this issue and saying to ourselves, okay, I need to heal the sympathetic nervous system. How do I do it? The way I do it is taking the stress, worry, and pressure. But right now, I'm always stressed. Right now, I'm putting so much pressure. I'm always worried about things. My anxiety is being activated by the most smallest things where beforehand it wasn't. Right? So what we need to do is take those things off. Now, how do we start taking the stress, worry, and pressure off? is by working on our mindset. How do we reprogram the amygdala? Is by working on our mindset. And I'll be more specific about what I mean by that in working on your mindset. You basically need to start working on your self-confidence. Start working on your self-esteem. There's plenty of books out there about how to heal and how to develop a healthy self-esteem so that you can start feeling much better. Your confidence level, if you realize, is shot. Right now, it's shot. You don't have confidence on anything. And what we need to do is bring back that confidence and bring back that control. You guys feel like you have no control whatsoever. That's putting more pressure on you. So what we need to do is start working on thinking more positively. Start working on our self-esteem. It's going to take some time. But whenever we work on our self-esteem, whenever we work on our self-confidence, we are starting to take the stress and the worry and the pressure off the sympathetic nervous system so that it can start healing itself. That is very important. That's what we want to do right now. We want to start healing it. Now, also the amygdala. How do we stop the amygdala to stop sending out signals to the sympathetic nervous system? How do we stop doing that? By rewiring our perspective of how we see things. So, for example, if we are afraid of driving or going out of the house, or we are afraid that we are going to experience a panic attack, or we're afraid of panic attacks, but what we need to start doing is start to reprogram our amygdala to know the difference between what's actually dangerous and what's not. Because right now, it just perceives everything as dangerous. And that can come from the way you grew up, the way you were taught, right, about how to see things. It could be from your parents being afraid of everything. It could be that you went through certain traumatic experiences whenever you were a kid, your upbringing. It could have been that, and you're constantly feeling anxious and nobody was there to calm you down. And your amygdala is always in the fight and fight mode. Your amygdala is always sending out a signal because it's constantly believing that it's in danger because of past experiences. And that's something we need to heal and start also reprogramming there. And the way I do with my sessions, is that I go to the subconscious mind and I start reprogramming your mind, not in a way of like in a negative way, but more a positive way, and healing your past experiences so that you can stop feeling so anxious, so that your amygdala, so that your sympathetic nervous system is not always activating the fight and fight mode, so that you're no longer on the fight and fight mode. So you're able to calm down. You're able to tell yourself, okay, you know what? I don't need the anxiety protection, because that could have came from whenever you were young and growing up and you always had to defend yourself, and that you didn't have anybody to protect you. So your anxiety was there to protect you. But the thing is right now, your anxiety is still protecting you from things that aren't dangerous, because no one has told it. Nobody has tried to heal the past. Try to heal the past and saying, hey, listen, you no longer need to protect me. I can do it. I can protect myself. So that way we can let go of the constant activation of the fight and fight mode and start feeling much better. So that way your anxiety can start calming down. And we can also, again, take the different approach, the conscious approach of, let's say if we're afraid, like I said before, of driving in a car, right? We're afraid. It's one example. Every single person's got to look at their own situation of what they're afraid of and apply to there. So what we can do is exposure therapy and start telling the amygdala, like, hey, this is a safe place. You have nothing to worry about. This is a safe place. The car is a safe place. The vehicle is a safe place. Traveling with the car is a safe thing. People do it every single day, and nothing happens to them. Yes, of course, there are a small number of people that it does. I'm not going to deny that. But the majority of people, nothing happens to them. And that's what we should focus on more, instead of focusing on that small number, because that small number doesn't help us. It hasn't brought us to the place where we want to be. It doesn't make us feel much better. And that's what we want. We want to feel much better. So we have to look at that big percentage of people that they're fine, that everything is fine with them whenever they drive and nothing does happen. You understand? But we need to reprogram the amygdala and tell, like, hey, listen, you are in a safe place. This is a safe place. Just like whenever you are in your safe zone, nothing happens to you. So too, we need to copy and paste that to the car or whatever your danger situation is that you believe something bad is going to happen. right? We need to reprogram that, and we have to be there and not think about, okay, you know what? Okay, how much longer do I have until I go back to my safe place? No, this is your safe place. We need to reprogram that to show, like, hey, there's nothing to be afraid of. And what happens eventually, your amygdala gets reprogrammed and say, okay, you know what? The car is a safe place. And if you're able to copy and paste that to other situations, you will start feeling much better. But it needs to take these two approaches. So you see, we need to focus on the amygdala to reprogram that by the subconscious mind and also with the conscious mind, and, reprogramming it by doing exposure therapy and also doing the subconscious exercises and saying, hey, listen, try to change the situations of the past, provide the emotional needs that the child needed with us, right? The child needed whatever it is, we need to provide that so that we can start feeling much better. So that we can start healing that place, so that we can start healing our sympathetic nervous system. And then we got to take the other approach and start putting stress, worry, and pressure on our sympathetic nervous system by picking up our self-esteem, by picking up our confidence, by thinking more positively. That way we can stop worrying and stop stressing out and stop putting so much pressure on it so that we can start healing. This is the reason why, guys, I, for so many years, don't experience anxiety, because this is what I did. And this is what helped. Yes, it's not the easy road and it's not the quickest road, but it's more of a solid road where you're going to have long-lasting relief. That's what we want at the end of the day. We don't want the quick fix. Easy come, easy go. But if we're able to start changing our mindset, which is not an easy thing, of course, and this is why I help to coach people one-on-one to help them with this, and it's been tremendously successful in helping. I've been very successful in helping out people to overcome their anxiety because of these exercises, because of these things, because they start feeling much better without consciously needing to apply certain coping mechanisms. So like they're able to go places and do things and actually feel good. It's like, oh, I didn't even think about I had anxiety before. And yeah, I would feel anxious when I would do things or when I would go to places or when I would think about the future. But now I don't feel that way. I'm able to do it without even realizing, hey, I'm not feeling anxious. You understand? That's what we want. And this is why I do the subconscious mind, because it's one of the most powerful techniques that I have ever discovered and I have ever done that actually makes such a huge impact on the anxiety, where the anxiety goes away. It goes away. Yeah, of course, we have to do other work. And we have to do the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and also to take off the stress, worry, and pressure. Of course, we need to do that all together, but eventually we start seeing the results and we start feeling much better. But as you see, guys, everything that I explained over here is that if we have the focus on the wrong thing, if we're focusing on the wrong thing, we are not going to get the results that we want. And that's why it's so important. It is so important to focus on the right thing, to focus, okay, what do I need to heal over here? I need to heal the sympathetic nervous system, not stopping the symptoms. That's not what I'm looking at. Yeah, I can cope with the symptoms by accepting it or doing different things, different coping mechanisms. Yeah, we can do that. But at the end of the day, I need to heal my sympathetic nervous system. And the way I do that, by our subconscious mind, by our conscious mind, by taking off the stress, worry, and pressure, by building up your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your positive thinking, that will help you to get to the place wherever you want to be. If you did like this episode, please click the like button and leave a 5-star review. The reason why I ask is because this way we're able to reach more people, and the more people that we can actually reach, the more people that we can actually help. Because my mission in this world, my purpose, is to help people to overcome and heal their anxiety naturally and show them that it's possible to overcome. Thank you guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.